if you could please share your unique experience of interviewing the iconic legend Bharat Ratna Lata Mangeshkar, and also Shreya Ghoshal. So she's a great accomplished singer of today.
Right.
So if you could just share your experiences of interviewing them.
Right. I have been very, very fortunate and blessed to come in contact with very eminent luminaries of all kinds of fields: engineers, doctors, entrepreneurs, scientists, yogis, singers, and it really has been a blessed experience. About Bharat Ratna Lata Didi and Shreya Ghoshal. So what happened was, I was working in Cincinnati on the radio program called Swaranjali. I mean, it was not work. We were all professionals. There was a team of professionals. We were working in different areas, but we were doing this as a hobby. So, and we were presenting a musical program every week for 3 hours. Once I was presenting this program, and I played a very beautiful number. I used to love that number. Tum Asha Vishwas Hamare, from movie Subha, sung by Lata Didi. And I really loved that song, but I did not know who wrote that song. So I mentioned that on the radio, saying that, oh, I love this song, but I don't know who wrote it. And immediately somebody called me on the radio station, saying that it was her Papaji who wrote this song. And her name was Lavanya. She eventually became my very good friend. But Lavanya's father, Pandit Narendra Sharma, you, Sarita, write Hindi poetry very well. So you know that Pandit Narendra Sharma, Harivansh Rai Bachchan.
Yes, we had poems of them, yes.
And Mahadevi Verma, and Chayavadi Kavi Sumitranandan Pant.
Sumitranandan Pant, yes.
Right. Pandit Narendra Sharma has written beautiful numbers like Jyoti Kalasha Jalake and Satyam Shivam Sundaram, and also Bajere Muraliya Bajere, sung by Pandit Bhimsen Joshi and Lata Didi. And I don't know whether you know, but he has also started this very popular radio program called Vivid Bharti, along with other radio programs. And he was a conceptual advisor to this very popular TV series Mahabharat, for which he also wrote songs. So he was a very noted luminary. And Lavanya ji also is a very good writer and a poetess. I ended up talking to her and interviewed her for Swaranjali. And Lata Didi considered Pandit Narendra Sharma as almost like her father.
Oh.
And Lavanya ji considered Lata Didi as her sister. We were talking, and once this idea came, and we decided to interview Lata Didi, and she agreed, and she spoke to me and Lavanya both conducted the interview, and she spoke to us for almost an hour.
Wow.
And after
the
interview, I got the opportunity to visit Lata Didi's home in Mumbai, and that was a very blessed opportunity, and I thank you, Lavanya ji, for it. It was a wonderful experience. And also about Shreya Ghoshal, she also spoke to me for almost an hour, and the interview started kind of slowly because I didn't know her at that time, but then we warmed up and we chit-chatted, and it was a lot of fun. And I visited Shreya also along with my sister, and that was a great experience also. Yeah, so I got to interview a lot of people on Swaranjali actually. So.
And it's an honor for me to interview you today. Really. That has been a real blessing. I would say that. Yes, it's such a great thing that you could interview such great luminaries in your life.
Yeah, that was.
As you were speaking about Harivansh Rai Bachchan, we used to study poems written by Harivansh Rai Bachchan and Pandit Sumitranandan Pant ji. Yeah, and we had stories of Premchand. Yeah.
Lavanya has told me once that Sumitra Nandan Pant and Pandit Narendra Sharma, they were very good friends. So, very
Great.
lucky. I used to always tell her, very lucky to come in contact with such
Uh,
illuminati.
we just came to know so many facts about Varkari Pant and everything. So, and you have volunteered a lot of your time at the temple. Something I found interesting was you were one of the founding members of the heritage classes at the temple. Could you give us an insight about the initial days of the classes and volunteering at the temple?
Yeah. Group of us, I'm one of the founding member, but group of us, which was not only Maharashtrians, everyone, we came together. And then at that time, I would say exposure to Americans, and now we talk about two cultures, Indian at home, Indian American. It was even more strong. The gap was really there at that time. So kids they were asking all those questions, and their grandparents came from India sometimes. It wasn't that easy at that time, but they did not know, especially grandmothers, did not know English. They dressed different way. So all of that, they had many, many questions about that. And so we started those classes, and I'm always proud to say that one of the Maharashtrian lady, her name was Mangala Sugandhi. She started with 2 kids. Heritage class, sitting there was the old temple. I give her a lot of credit. And she 1 year, 2 years, then 4 kids. And then all of us, we joined her. She never gave up. And it just continued growing. And the issues were at that time, now Americans are more involved and they know where India is. Even they didn't know where India was at that time. So, and now when kids come from India, even I call them kids, but professionals, 25, 24 years, when as students or when they come from India, they know exactly where they are going. They know these are the grocery stores around them. Virtually, they do all of that, and they have a lot of support from other Indians, and Americans also are knowing culture of India more. That wasn't the case then. It was very different. And that's why teens have a lot of energy. So we took different groups, and our classes went really well. And at that point, I have to also say Chinmayananda Mission has done a great job. And we were not following their curriculum, but we were following Dayanandaji's curriculum. It wasn't that different. What I have, seen, and I love to teach teenagers. So even though we did like basic things, Mahabharata and Ramayana and stories, but we always, I used to have like 20 to 22 kids in my class. The number wise, that was amazing. And we always talked about how this factor relates today in your life. We just did not tell the stories and stop there.
Okay.
Half of that was stories, some shlokas of half of that, and all of that we did as cultural, and we had different skills together. So, but we also, and some teachers were very strict and different than some of us were not that strict. We were more like going with kids and that sort of a thing. So we always ask that question, how this Rama story, Dasharath or whatever, being so loyal to his parent, how does that work now? What is happening now in your world? If just the example, if your dad says go to jungle or stay there, would you do that? Yeah. And is it always beneficial to do it? We just raised the questions, and they answered those questions and thought about it, wrote a lot also. They are all now graduates, and many of them at that time came to those teenage classes. And they really feel that gave them something. And Chinmayananda Mission, now it is heritage class, Bal Vihari Chinmayananda Mission. That's the one of the best thing that happened. People who are working there, like Zui, who is doing to raise the bar and doing a great job. I haven't seen, honestly, I might be biased, but I haven't seen many kids who had some culture and some exposure to Chinmayananda classes have gone that wrong. Because they have challenges. They have done few things. That's all going to happen. But they came back on the path.
Yeah.
I haven't seen anyone, and Zui, the way the work she's doing, so still there are people, they are challenging kids, they are doing all of this work in our own community, and that's what makes me very happy. I like to be on the kind of behind the stage, and if anybody needs anything, and if I have that in me, I would always share. But the society is growing and the community is so great. Just I wanted to give you how these people have raised the bar, like Rashmi and all of you, Maharashtra AMF, you raised the bar. And we started that program, I don't know whether you remember, with Santa Wangmay and all of that. We started that program with that. And you guys have raised the bar, all of you have raised the bar. And that kind of helping us to even go further and further. And I also wanted to say something about Kalyan. Kalyan, I'm really specifically saying these names with intention, because he also was like Shivaji Maharaj, and he's also one of models that, Hindu, whole the Hindu thing and Hindu culture is here because of him. Not in limited way, because he was the one who really respected women, respected Muslims, respected, So Kalyan had this thing about, in a different way, music and all of that, he was so attracted to that, and he created that group. And he has come such a long way. Now you look at his COVID thing. So I connect that. There is connection. I don't know whether you guys see that, because because I wouldn't say he was none of us are always that way, but he has matured so much, and he came from loving Shivaji, which was a great thing. So if we love these models, nothing wrong with that. Loving Sant, and he came to this COVID, there's a connection. Whatever is needed, he's doing it now.
He's been volunteering a lot.
I know.
He's doing a phenomenal job. Actually, so many people from our community, because of him, have got the vaccines in time. That's the need amazing. Of this time. That's what I'm saying. So see how I connecting this? Shivaji was the need of that time. He loved Shivaji. And now he's connecting with community. I want to tell him that sometimes. I haven't told him that yet. But that's like, so these are the three examples. Zui is doing the same thing. Chinmayananda is connecting this younger generation with culture and values and acceptance and unconditional acceptance especially. And all of you are doing that. I'm so happy to see our community here kind of growing. So we cannot lag behind. We have to kind of encourage you and each generation. I have a lot of trust in future generations. People say, world is, no, it is okay. The world is not, these challenges are making them stronger. Their responses are right. Trust your intentions and have some spiritual background. When I gave you these examples of these people, you can see some kind of spiritual background there. Sure. So, all of you. It is very important. And I almost have never gone wrong. And I had to almost. Sometimes I have. The other day I was talking with you and I said, you talked about meditation. I understood you had some sort of spiritual grounding. That goes a long way. So that's why these Chinmayananda Mission classes and all of those are important. Satsanga and encouraging them. And if your mind grows, that I would say that is the only litmus test. If you become more open, more accepting, more mature, that means that religion or whatever that thing is working for you. If you become more restricted, more judgmental, that means something is not right. It's not helping you.
Only one litmus test. If meditation that makes you sad, yeah, that's your thing. And that's how I felt about Warkari Pantha. Yeah. That made me open more. I have a long way to go, and I believe in that. I'm sure I have many few more lives.
There is one memorable incidents happened in the DMV. At that time also I was working on information center. I came as usual at 8:30, and I saw like all the channel people with the cameraman, lights. They are all walking around the office, and I was surprised. They were in front of my information center also, and they were taking our picture, everything. And I saw there was a line of people coming. There was one gentleman, and I was there, and I said, "Next customer, please." He came in front of me. He has. I asked him, "How can I help you, sir?" He said, "I have to do enhanced license." I said, "Okay. Do you have your passport and social security card?" He said, "Yes, I have." Then I said, "Okay, let me see. Name is matching on both passport and social security." And I said, "Okay, I will have to take your picture." Then I took him to the camera station, and I took his picture, and I gave him number as usual, and then he proceeded. Then immediately my supervisor came, and supervisor said, "Do you know who was he?" I said, "No, I don't know." He was commissioner, and he is doing the inauguration of enhanced license, and we are issuing him enhanced license, and you are today on this job, and that's why all the people, cameraman, all the channel people, they are taking your video shooting, and you will be on TV today in the evening.
You already were busy with your job, and then prayers and puja, and then now you are starting to think about a full-fledged business.
Yes. Like we are religious, my interest is in religious work. So we have always coming Maharaj, Guru Mukundananda Swami, and Pratap Baba came. So at that time came in my mind our Guru Shri Nana Maharaj Taranekar. His grandson is Dr. Babasaheb Taranekar. So we should invite them. So we were thinking of that, and to invite them, I wanted to give some contribution. I wanted to raise some money to invite him in US. And during that time, one of my relative from India, she said she has very good collections of kurtis, and she was sending me pictures. So she said, "Why don't you do this business? Why don't you sell these kurtis?" Then I said, "Okay, I like those kurtis, collection I like." Then I said, and she said, "See, if you get some profit, you do it, continue. Otherwise, you can leave it anytime." Then I said, "Okay, now we have to invite our Guru, that is final. So we will need some support. So let us see, we'll see if we get some money out of this business. We can use that money for our Guru Seva." So that is the reason I started Anjali Collections.
Oh, to bring your Guruji to you. Oh.
Yes.
And in that business, did someone encourage you in that?
Yeah. One more thing, I was working in Macy's in sales as a sales associate. So that was when I was working, I had very good experience of customer service, and I thought I can use that experience also in this business. When I will open my business, that will also I can use. And my family, my husband, my son, they also encourage me. And one of my friend from India, she also guided me and helped me to form this business.
Would you like to say anything to the women in our community, especially those who would like to start a business like yours?
Yes, I always encourage any ladies if she's coming across me and asking, shall I do business? I always say, yes, do it. We always spend our time for our family, for our job, but every woman will have some passion. So if you have a passion, follow that and and work on that, and do some business, any business. If you have interest in cooking, do cooking business. But if you are doing any business, do with honesty, and always be friendly with the customer. Don't feel like he's a customer, feel like she's your friend, he is your friend, and show your product, everything. And that way, you should have good network of people. So to grow in business, you should have that good network of people. And somebody if giving the negative feedback to you, take it positively. So means if he is giving negative feedback, means that person is very honest. He is telling you what are our we have, what way we have to improve. So take him positively and improve that way. I will say.